How's it hanging, Porch Stooges? So actually, this is my third attempt on this. I'm going to have to make this story shorter than I've been trying. Now, we're not going to do one of those shitty introductions that I usually do where it shows clips of me talking about certain points of the story. Because this time I'm going to do something that you probably have already seen in a bunch of other story times or, Reddit stories or whatever, where there's gameplay and then there's someone talking or reading out the script. Now, I don't have a script in my hand, it's just my phone. And also, I didn't read anyone else's story on Reddit. So, anyway, we're going to jump into this story with no shitty-ass introductions. But first, I would like to say, now, I got this idea just because I've been watching story times like that, so I've been like, maybe if I make it as generic as you find it commonly on YouTube, then maybe I'll bump some viewers up. Possibly. We'll see where this goes and how it happens and what the success rate is about. And the other thing is as for the girl that I've mentioned in one of my story times, she was my girlfriend at the time, and it was, for reference, it was that one story where we let the demon in the house and we had to drown it in a creek and shit. Well, that person, we're not seeing each other anymore. We've been split up, we parted ways, it didn't really work out, and it's water under the bridge at this point. So, and I'm not saying this for pity, I just am getting it out there, so that way I can just, fucking be done with it. I don't remember if I've already mentioned this or not, but now I will make sure to remember whether or not, or that I have, pretty much. So let's jump into the story with a 2-minute intro. That's great. This story takes place, I don't remember if it was last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, but very important to me. This is a very sentimental story, so I want to share it with y'all. For fucking solidarity, or, like eating bread helps you get full. So, like, something like that. For reference, just ignore the rest. Let me try this again. I've been going on stage and singing on open mics in bars for a little while. I've tried here and there other places, more than just one. And one of the ones I really like to go to, and that really fits my schedule, because I get busy during the week. I handle my business. Sometimes it's for my YouTube, sometimes it's whatever have you. So Sundays really work for me. And the place that hosts open mics on Sundays is the Lighthouse. It was one of the first bars I actually went to like go bar hopping and, experience the bar life, and I wound up really liking the bar, and then I learned that they were also doing open mics, so it kind of just fit. Well, on this Sunday, so a couple of other Sundays ago, I don't remember if it was 2 weeks in a row or if it was a week I missed, and there was a week that I didn't miss, and there was a week I missed, but I've decided I wasn't going because of this, that, and the other. But in this story in particular, I decided, fuck it, let's just go, just because, and these are memories. Even if it's in a shitty little bar and you got regulars that because, maybe you're a regular yourself, but not because you're an alcoholic. But, you got an association type gig with some people. They're still memories, and they're not bad memories, all right? So I went there, I was like, let's just make some memories. And it turns out I couldn't have made a better decision on that day, because when I got there, I was late, and I really was hoping that I would still have enough time to get there and sign my name. Because usually, artists will come when the open mic starts the bar will be open, but the open mic starts at a certain time. So local artists who know this, they'll come right around, and they also know that more artists will come around and they'll sign their name up as soon as possible. So if you're too late, it'll just be closed. You can't sign your name up. You won't have a spot in the thing. And the open mic ends actually before the bar originally closes. So I was really hoping that I would have enough time to get there and still sign my name up, which I did, but it was because, drumroll please, This was the last time it was discontinued from every Sunday after this. It was the last time they were doing open mic on Sundays. Now, it's probably not going to be as significant, seeing how they also do open mic on Tuesdays rather than just Sundays, but it still was giving graduation vibes all around. This was perfect for my own schedule of the week. This was significant to the sound director, who hosts both of them. This was significant to a lot of people. There was a girl I knew. I don't know if I'm going to give her a nickname yet, but she said because she's got kids, because she's got this going on, because she's got this on their job, this was the only time really she had the opportunity to go on stage, which I didn't see her there very much, but I did like her when she sang, She had a really good singing voice. And so it was pretty much detrimental to not just one of us. It was detrimental to a couple of us, if not most of us. I wouldn't say all of us, because still there's the Tuesday, like I said, but the Tuesday I'm gonna have to see if I can fit that in my schedule, which actually I'm going today as well, right when I'm finished recording me talking about this story. The sound director, I'm gonna give him a nickname right now because it's the Lighthouse, and I know him that he works there. I'm going to nickname him the Lantern Man. I had many conversations with various people on that night, some of which I actually haven't seen before, but one of them that stuck out to me was the Lantern Man himself. He actually said that I've seen the transition, the improvements, how people have started off with, how they would, how far along they've come from when they started going on stage for that open mic in particular, and for how they've come at this point. And it really was like a teacher, who sees their students, how far along they've come on like the last day of school and shit. And I don't know what they were doing. They were starting a new event, which is why it's discontinued. And they wanted to do that on the Sunday thing. And it really meant a lot to us. It meant a lot to me. And it wasn't just because of my schedule, but there was something that Lantern Guy did that he did on Sundays that he didn't do on Tuesdays, which I think I'm going to miss the most. And it was that every time someone would be done with their set, with their performance, he would go on the stage, and he's got a little piano, or electric piano, and he's got a seat, so he sits down in the seat, and he goes on the piano, and he doesn't know very many keys, as he said, but he just, as a joke for... in reference to jazz music, he'll go on the stage and play a couple of keys, and he'll go, "Let's give it up one more time for whoever was on the stage," and then he'll say something else. That part it was funny, but it was, I don't know, it was personal. There was actually a time I went on the stage, and it was like way long hours. Everyone's already went home and shit, but the bar was still kind of open. And I went on to the piano, and I went, boom, let's give it up one more time for everyone who's been on the stage. I know all the artists and shit. And the Lantern Man got on his knees, and he started like he was bowing to me. He was praying. Oh, it was great. So I'm going to miss that part, I think, the most. So the list was, did I mention the list was longer? When I got there was like 3 or 4 spots open. So if I got there any later, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have just passed up the chance on right there. Just like I show up and oh, you're too late. Even still, but I haven't had my name on a list. I don't believe, like ever, on any higher than it was. This thing, I was like number 28 or something, right? And there was artists who also, they came and went. I don't know if they had something else to do or if they were just impatient to wait that long for their turn. I kind of grew a little impatient, but who the fuck cares? It's the last time. And this meant more to me, so I stayed until actually the very end when they started closing. Just because I wanted to see and I wanted to have this experience to the fullest extent, as much as I could. There was a guy I spoke to, his artist name was Pinky. I don't know if he's on Spotify or YouTube or anything. We didn't get that far into the conversation, but he said he was going to go on the open mic for comedy. Now, you don't have to just go up there for art, music, anything like that. You know, you can do, I would like to say pretty much anything, but I know that someone's probably going to take that out of context, go to an open mic, and then fucking moon somebody, or the entirety of everyone watching, which, no, you can't do. Like, use common sense. So you can't do anything on an open mic, but, you know, what you can do is not just, doesn't have to be music, pretty much. So, anyway, comedy, because it's not very much, well, I'd like to say appreciated, which might have some truth to it, but it's not very much used. You get a 50-50 in the audience. Like, maybe there'll be a couple laughing, or maybe you'll tell a joke that everyone likes, but sometimes they just actually don't really listen to you if you're up there using comedy. Just so you know, that's actually why I'm not telling the story at the open mic. Also was because this is for the Lighthouse, and there's going to be people there who've already been to the stage, so they're going to know, and they're going to know because they were there. So now, when it was my turn, I got on the stage and I decided to say a couple of words before I actually started my performance. And my speech, I've gathered, was pretty much, fate led me to this point. I started actually writing down and singing a little bit here and there in middle school, like trying to make my own songs, but I didn't have any equipment for music. And, you know, I would exaggerate a lot of things, and there was a guy who told me, I don't even remember his name, but he told me, keep it real, like real events, things that actually happened, instead of just finding words that rhyme. And that really stuck with me. And then I started making music on my own. Then I started with the YouTube. Then I got the equipment started with the music part, you know, the Remix Live part. So I feel like it was inevitable for me to start on open mics, but as fate would have it, it led me to the very last drop of the last drop of the last drop. But not the last drop for that, because that was actually someone else. I didn't have that. And I don't know if it was a coincidence or if it really was fate, you know, if it was meant to be for me to be there. But I'm so happy that I decided to go without even knowing it was going to be the last time they were doing Sundays. I don't know, it might be re-picked up later on, like in the winter or something. Like, that's when I started doing it. I started February this year. So they might do that. It may just be discontinued for the time being. I don't know. But either way, it did mean a lot to me, and I did want to be there. If they stopped on Tuesdays, I probably wouldn't really bat an eye. I'd be like, oh shit, that sucks. Well, anyway, but because it was Sundays, you know, it feels different. It feels different for me. Like, someone else might feel the same way about something else, but for me, it was like this, you know. It's like, what is WWE without John Cena type shit? Like, what is the open mic experience without fucking Sunday, as they call it? So, I mean, I'm very grateful that I wound up decided to go and was there, and I was a part of it. When I was first there, fun fact, the energy was so agreeable. It was like, yeah, let's do it. You know when you jam into something you really like, you got that music that there's a song that you just don't know what it's about, but you really like it. Well, it was like that for like 30 to 40 minutes. But after a while, as the night progressed, it just kind of got gloomier, and you know, the energy kind of died down, and it was just, so I put some of my best songs to, you know, as for like remembrance. Some of the most top voted, some of the best liked from the audience that I've done in the past to replay for this, and plus I didn't have any new material, so I was like, okay. But even then, I don't think that really went very far, because as the night progressed, it was just, I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking shit, but it just seemed like everyone was just getting sadder. And I understand why. I was also getting sadder, and I was trying to figure out what am I gonna do from here on out. Like, I missed the last open mic on Tuesday after this, so I think, is that still? No, that was 2 weeks ago then, because it's Tuesday now. Eventually, I went home, and I was like, I don't know. It was definitely different when I went home. So, I got an electric board, longboard, in case anyone was wondering. So I was longboarding home and I was doing whatever and I was listening to music, but I think the tinnitus part of the entire, like, staying that long in a open mic with the band being that loud, all the bands being that loud, kind of got to my ears, so I was actually listening to my music quieter. But then I kind of just stopped listening to my music at all. I got to the point where I was like, I think I just want to think while I ride. This is the first time I actually wanted to ride without music. Like, usually I'm really excited. I'm jamming to my music, but tonight I just wanted to think, and I didn't really want to go home. I just wanted to go for a drive, but not a drive because it's not a car. So I wanted to go for a ride. And I was just, kind of dicking around for a while, just thinking. But I eventually did go home, but by the time I did, I was like, well, what am I going to do from here on out? Like, what really am I going to do? So I'm trying to figure out a new schedule and shit, but I hope you enjoyed the video. This is probably into the black screen at this point, but, because the gameplay is probably done. But yeah, this is dragging on for there was more, but maybe I'll revisit this story and find details that I missed or something like that. But hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Consider subscribe. All the yada yada jazz. And there should be socials in the description or something. As just so you know, for those who don't, I also have some of my music, not all of it, all right? I got like 65 songs, so cut me some slack, but I got 13 of which, my music video audios at least. They're on Spotify and Apple Music. I'm trying to get them on more platforms, but that, as far as I know, for a fact, is up there. So look up, it's just KR-E, it's just Cree. And you can listen to my music video audios. And plus there will be more come the 4th of July. Well, probably after the 4th of July, because I'm going to upload to YouTube first. But anyway, be on the lookout for that. And I'll see you guys whenever I see you, but I won't because I'm not actually looking at you. Jaka.